Sovereignty is not having your civilization kneel before every tanker route and every unstable region on Earth. That's what sovereignty is. And if a nation does not build that, then all its flags and slogans are just decorative drapery over dependency, learned helplessness. A type of weaponized incompetence. Oh, we can't do it. We need the oil. We've got to have the oil. Nuclear's too scary. Scarier than World War III? Okay. That's a load of bullshit. Now let's go back, because people need to understand just how real the lost future actually was. The United States didn't merely dream about nuclear power. It's not a fantasy. It built a huge fleet of naval vessels. Most of the operating U.S. nuclear capacity that existed in 2017 came online between 1970 and 1990. That means the country had already proven it could build nuclear at a massive scale, but only for the military. Why not the public sector? The country also didn't just dream about space. We went to the moon in 1969, and Apollo 17 was the last moon landing in 1972. Never went back. NASA created a experimental nuclear rocket called NERVA. NERVA was a nuclear rocket program that achieved major engine test milestones before it was canceled in the early 1970s without ever flying. They were going to really fly a nuclear rocket, get rid of fossil fuels or the hydrazine. Then you had serious NASA studies in the 1970s that were already looking at space settlements using extraterrestrial materials for long-term expansion, to live there permanently and to work there. Let that sink in a minute. What if your dad would have been a space miner instead of a coal miner? What if your mom would have been a nuclear physicist working at the local plant down the road? We had it. We had nuclear power. We had the moon landings. We had momentum. We had nuclear rocket development, early space settlement thinking, giant industrial workforce dedicated to it, and a public memory of what real national mobilization looks like. We don't know what the hell that looks like. We've never seen that. The door was open. And that's why this topic hits me so fucking hard. Because it's not just a story of failing to invent. It's a story of failing to continue up the stairway to heaven. We had the beginning of an atomic civilization. Not something that was just some gimmick or some cool little topic in popular mechanics. We had the beginning of a frontier civilization to explore the unknown, to see what's out there, to plunder its treasure and bring it back to Earth to make it better. We had the beginning of an electrified civilization. Like, we could have electrified all the rails and had trains be 4 times wider, carry 10 times as much freight, powered by nuclear reactors. It would have been easy. And then we just stopped. We just stopped believing in ourselves in the future. Comfort, convenience, quarterly returns, cheap imports, managed decline dressed up as pragmatism. And look, I get it. People are going to say nuclear has risks. Yeah, it had risks. So does everything. So does depending on oil like this and these choke points. The question is never, is there risk? The question is, what kind of risk buys what kind of future? And sorry, but not sorry, but I will not take the risk of a civilization learning how to safely handle nuclear power over a certainty of war-driven oil dependence on any day of the week. Any day.